Hey, hi guys, welcome to Cafe IO. Cafe IO में आपका स्वागत है. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about learning Go. I have been working in the data science domain and software architecture for close to 12 years, and I realized that learning a new programming language can really help me, and it's probably a great time to do that. So after a bit of mental thought of trying to pick the right language, I had a couple of options like Go, Rust, Julia. I decided to go with the language Go because it's gaining a lot of popularity, and certain concepts like parallelism, concurrency is something I really wanted to see deep down. Also, Kubernetes, which is a framework I use in day out, is very well connected with the Go ecosystem. So if you want to become an expert in Kubernetes and also, contribute towards it, learning Go is a great skill. So this is a video where I'm going to just start, consider it the first baby steps. I'm going to do a walkthrough from downloading Go, installing, setting up the IDE, and basically doing a quick hello world example. So let's get started. So in the interest of time, I have downloaded it. Let's hit install, but I would want to show certain choices and options. So Go comes in various flavors. You have Windows, which is obvious, the MSI installer. Then you have two versions of Mac. If you're running the x86 architecture, you have the Apple Mac OS, and if you're running the Apple Silicon, which is what I have, you have the different ARM64 packages. For Linux, it is an AMD 64 package, which is also you have. You also do have the option to build from source. The current version of Go is 1.212. I do have a previous version of installation. So what this is going to do is it's just going to it kind of detects it, so that's nice. So I will continue, install, put in my password, and I think it does pretty quickly. Yep. So and I will also try to check if the installation is done or not in a command line ID. So yeah, that's what is. While the installation is getting complete, I will show you certain resources. Oh, it's complete. So let's go to the resources. So there's few things which I wanted to do. I was looking for good places to learn. There's a couple of paid courses, but I decided I would just go by my own speed instead of sticking to a month or 6 months of commitment. So I decided to select the official documentation and probably buy a book. I'll talk about which book I select in the next video. So there are a couple of options. You have documentation, tour of Go, and Go by example. So this is the documentation part, which is what I'm going to follow right now. This is a website called Tour of Go, which allows you to run and interactively work, which is kind of nice, but I'm going to skip this for today. And finally, Go by example goes through, well, really Go by example. So I'm just going to follow hello world and probably do a variable part. So let's go to the setup and let's go to the tutorial. So now if I have installed the Go correctly, I will go to my IDE, Visual Studio Code, and select the extension for Go, and I'll also install that. And then fundamentally, go to creating a new directory for it. So I would just go to my documents /github, and I will do mkdir Go, right? Going back. So let's just say, okay, let's close this. This is not necessary. So here, cd. Oh, so I am within that folder, and there is a concept which is called dependency tracking for your code. So what it basically implies is Go has a go.mod file which kind of stays with the code, and the idea is that when the code imports different packages contained in other modules, you kind of manage these dependencies using the code itself. So all I'm going to do is so now I have a new module created, hello, and now I will just go and create a new file using the IDE and open that folder. and I will create a new file using that IDE, which is what using my IDE, sorry, using that IDE. Apologies, it's kind of alright. So I have a go.mod created. Now I am also going to create hello.go. Alright, so now the VS Code, it's just giving me an error that certain tools etc are not there, which I am, it says analysis tools missing. I would install them and it's doing some installation of it, so probably it will restart the IDE in a moment. Okay, and now I'll just paste the code. So copy, paste. Okay, so I did get all tools installed. Yeah, ready to go. So let's look at the structure of the code. So we have package main. I'm importing an FMT, which I believe is a package which is for formatted output. So FMT stands for maybe formatted IO, and they are analogous to C, printf and scanf, which is basically, you know, for printing and getting user input. Then I have a function main and fmt.println hello world. Pretty straightforward. I don't know where the run button went, so I will just click on this and let's see how to run this. Okay, I will have to run it using the command line. So let's go to the terminal. Let's do this. Alright, so my setup is complete. So when I do go run dot, and I'm guessing the dot takes all the files in there, and then it basically gives me the hello world, which is what I was expecting. Let's do a help also, and so I have some package management options like bug, build, clean, dock, install, etc, etc. Ideally I would have preferred to have a run button here. Let's see if I have something here. No, I can do it using the terminal, but I don't seem to be having some kind of run option here. I will probably figure that out if I can set it up in a slightly neater way, so that I just do a run or I kind of run it from here itself. That would be good. Alternatively, a complete toolbar, kind of an extension for a sidebar, that would have been also helpful. Maybe that's something I just need to figure out. Let's go to a probably additional example. What's additionally here? So we have call code and external package. This is what is an example of calling external package. Let's go to the examples and do some values. Let's do this. This seems to be slightly better. Okay, now it's copy. So what I have is there's some calculations happening, and what this tells me is that there is some option calculation possible within the print statement itself, which is kind of neat and nice. Let's go and run this again. So yeah, it prints Golang and it prints 1 plus 1 is equals to 2. It does print, so floats are default, so true, and so this is a test for boolean and some operators, which is nice. So this is what I'm going to follow eventually, and I'll probably put more videos around it when I have reached to a certain degree of understanding of the programming language. For instance, these should be very natural, like for example declaring variable and stuff like that. So I'm most likely going to skip these, but just for fun or just for the sake of simplicity, let's still run them. Yeah, and yeah, it just prints initial. There's some variable operation. All right, pretty similar to Python, I would say, but seems interesting. So yeah, I would continue to do this. So thank you for watching. That's probably it. This was the first part. This is how you can set up your machine to do it. Very much possible to do it in Apple Silicon, so no challenges there. I would also try to find out a couple of other options, like how can I run it within a Docker environment and stuff like that, and post another probably a bit more detailed video from a programming perspective. Alright, this concludes the setup part. If you have liked the conversation, please subscribe. Bye bye.